the second or other video that I've made today, this is if I post it, and you'll see it, I may decide not to, is basically me playing with my rail diesel DMU diesel motor unit, this which I had running round, and just playing, experimenting with it, going up and down the inclines at either end of the layout, and then having resolved some issues with that, I then thought I would just have a little run of my Tornado, let that run around the track. And in the process of running this, I discovered that the track joins on the lift out section were not good at all, were bad. And so that led me on to a little bit of work which I've done on the lift out section. Anyway, this being the other video will be a video of something running around the track. I'm not sure you'll actually see this running because I don't think I got it to run round successfully in any happy way because of it derailing and all sorts of things at the lift out section. But the DMU had fun on the inclines. Oops. So in the distance you'll see my DMU climbing up the hill. I'm not touching the controller. So the same person, following the same design rules, has designed the inclines at both ends of this layout. And this is just with a fixed level on the controller. I'm not having to drive it up that incline. It manages to get up the incline, slowing down a bit. I mean, if I put a little bit more power on it, would go up there nicely. I've just serviced the motor on here, so the motor runs nice and freely, but in the process of servicing, with a tiny drop of oil, that had contaminated the wheels, which does cause it a problem if I run it clockwise. It's now obviously going anti-clockwise, and that incline at that end rises to the same height over approximately the same distance, but it climbs up there much more easily than it does at this end. I'll come over here so I can get to the, and that you've seen there also means there's something about the way the track is laid. So it's the execution of the incline here is not as good as the execution of the incline here. And it could be that I used a thicker and therefore stiffer piece of wood. I mean, the wood is screwed here at the top of the incline, and then I think fixed about here close to the bottom of the incline, so that keeps that as a straight length of incline, and then filled in with whatever I needed to fill in with to do the embankment at that end. So maybe I didn't use the same technique at the other end. So a good incline one end, and the incline at the other end is not so good. Just to confirm what I've been saying, I really have to drive it up this end. Well, I didn't have it going fast enough, and you can hear the wheel slip. This has run up and down the incline fine, but I really feel that the traction tyres now need something special in terms of getting the touch of lubrication off them. And the motor, that should pull better with the motor nearer the front, because the motor's about there, so it's pulling rather than pushing up the incline. So it shouldn't be the position of the motor that's causing the problem. Well, with the motor towards the back, the motor's clearly on a part of the incline where it's got a little bit more grip and is able to push the coaches in front up rather than pull them up. And so now, without touching the controller, it's running. Obviously I could drive it, and in which case I would give it a bit more power going up the incline at the other end, rather than letting it struggle that little bit. But it is running around okay, and it might be that just a touch of weight would be enough to solve that slowing down there. But before I do that, I've got a Trix, is it Trix? I'll have to get it down. I've got a wheel cleaner which is based on like a brass wire brush, and that should clean the metal wheels but also roughen up the traction tyres. And I've used a little bit of this solvent. When I say solvent, I'll show you it. Something I got from the middle of a well-known discounting supermarket, and it's a nice solvent cleaner for some purposes. Yep, there we've got servicing cradle, just a foam cradle, a rolling road which is out on this, which is a useful little gadget. It did have a pin roller thing on there, but it's useful in that it's got an ammeter, so you can see what current draw the loco has got while it's on the rolling road. The classic Hornby rolling road at the back, which I'd got before. DC compatible, it says. I think I said something about that on the box. What's the difference between a DC one and sorry, DCC and the standard DC one or analog one? I really don't think there is any difference, but that's my preferred go-to one. That one is useful if you've got a tender with pickup or tender drive with loco pickup, because the static part can go on there, the moving wheels can go on there. So hold on, having another look. So this is the repaired lift up section. The tracks are much better aligned and at a better and more even height. And now we've got loco running pretty smoothly right the way over it. So it now makes its way around the track as you would expect, as you want to see something running through the station. If I'm at the controller, I'll be able to stop that. Out onto the 2-track main line, under an occupation bridge. I used to sit on an occupation bridge and watch the trains go by. And there, without a hitch, we heard it go over there. Yeah, so that's reminiscent of my youth. My friends were train spotters. And so just a reminder that we've thinned down the wood. I've given it a coat of paint, which hopefully will seal it a little bit, and pinned the, I heard it stutter then. That's a bit worrying. And what I can do, oh, it did stutter. Well, we'll have a replay of that. Now what I can do is go to the fiddle yard point control place, which is here, and set it through. It's on the middle one. Let's go to the top one now. Ah, it's not plugged in. Yeah, so this is got a separate power connection. And that should then allow the loco to go onto the far track. If point motors worked okay. There's a little bit of an incline there over that one. And out again at the other end. And then let's switch to the bottom track of these three. Not that. Something completely different. Shouldn't have to change any other points for that one. Something not right there. And so I've set the points and we can see how it performs now on this first road of the three roads. There's a little bit of wiggliness in the track here. I've just straightened that out. It was derailing a bit there, and there's a bit of a gap at that point there, but it's making its way around nicely now. And bring it to a stop in the station. Now on track 3, that's platform faces 4 and 5, got a trace of 2 locos. I can select one platform or the other by changing the points. As the points are set, the light engine will roll. So the light engine runs off. Comes onto the innermost of the fiddle yard. There we go, that's worked nicely. I can now set the should only need to change those points. And now as I turn it up, the DMU moves now. Into the station. I'm just playing this very quickly. And while it's in the station, let's just change the points. And then we can send the little short goods train off. And so that can park behind that. Right, okay, but the one thing that I've not done is section the fiddle yard. And so that means I've got one light engine and one short goods train, and that is effectively occupying the whole length of this fiddle yard because there's no sectioning. And so the next stage to improve my operation and allow me to get some of the trains out of boxes and onto the track so it's ready to run will be to section the fiddle yard. That way I'll be able to store 4 trains. I'm only thinking of one section of it. On the up line, 4 on the down line. That means I'll be able to store 8 trains in total in the fiddle yard and have a spare road through which the other trains can run. Well, I might be able to do a little bit more as long if I can move one up. Well, it's just, you know, a sectioned fiddle yard, that's what I'm talking about. Around at the station area, with a short train on the longer platform, it might be possible to even section this so that the DMU could come up behind something else and only occupy half of the platform. But no, I'm not inclined to do that in the immediate future. That will do me now for running. I'm quite happy now that my lift up section is working as it should, and that means that at least I can run trains without silly derailments, etc. And that's just been a correction of damp problems on the track. Well, we do what we can in the time that we've got available. Sometimes a bit of scenic work, sometimes some necessary repairs. Not a long enough running session, a bit of running. I filmed about 30 to 50% of the running that I've been doing. Well, maybe not as much as that. I've done a few little test runs before the video you've seen. And that's it. I've got other things I need to get on with, unfortunately. But that is life. And at least if I keep the place dry and I keep the track in good order, then when I do have a spare half hour or so, I can come and run some trains and just enjoy that when I can.